Hey guys, Melissa here from nourishedandvibrant.com. I'm here today to give you my top 10 tips for healthy eating on a budget. Now, the biggest argument that I hear from people in regards to adhering to a more nutrient-dense diet is that healthy food is just too expensive. And I get it. It is really easy to rack up a really big grocery bill if you're not headed into the store mindfully. And so I'm here today to kind of walk you through some of my biggest and most helpful tips for making more affordable food choices that are also really healthy, really nutrient dense, and really nourishing for your body. So let's get started. Tip number 1 for healthy eating on a budget. Plan your meals for the week, write a shopping list, and stick to it. Entering a grocery store without a plan is dangerous territory. You are bound to walk in there and overbuy things that you're not going to use throughout the week, or just stock up on unnecessary snack type items that are often much more expensive than your staples. At the beginning of the week, sit down, leaf through some of your favorite recipe books or browse your favorite food blogs. Write a plan, actually Monday through Sunday of the week, breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe snacks included as well. Write what you plan on having prepared for each one of those meals and all of the ingredients that you'll need. And then walk into the grocery store with that list and only buy the things on there. You'll leave just buying the things that are necessary for your nutrient-dense meals throughout the week, and your cart total will be much, much lower than you are probably used to. Tip number 2, I'm talking to the meat eaters here. Swap out those pricey boneless, skinless chicken breasts for less expensive quality cuts of meat. Bone in, skin on, tougher cuts of meat, like a chuck eye steak or a bone in, skin on chicken thigh, or even organ meats are much, much less expensive than, say, boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Even when you buy them grass-fed, pasture-raised, and organic. And that's really what we want to try to aim for. So opt for those cheaper, tougher cuts of meat, bring those home, and then use things like your crock pot or your Instant Pot to transform them into these really tender, delicious, yummy meats. You'll also find that these cheaper cuts of meat have a little bit more fat, and therefore they have a lot more flavor. And that quality fat, again, when you're buying quality meats, is really nutritious and really good for you and filling. And you'll find that you'll fill up on smaller amounts of that meat, therefore saving you a little bit of money on what you would typically purchase for your meats for the week. Speaking of meats, my third tip is to use the nutrition of that whole animal. Don't you dare throw away those bones from that quality meat you just bought. Instead, use them to make a bone broth that you can sip throughout the week. Bone broth is a super nutrient-dense, mineral-rich, wonderful thing to just sip on through the week or include in your soups and stews. It's great for gut health. It's got protein. And it's just really yummy, especially in the colder months. So what I love to do is to buy a pasture-raised chicken. I roast it, I cook it in my Instant Pot, and then I use that same Instant Pot to add some filtered water, some apple cider vinegar, some salt, and some herbs. Throw the chicken carcass in there, and then I've got bone broth. Again, then I'm able to enjoy the meat throughout the week from that chicken, as well as the wonderful, nourishing bone broth as well. It's a twofer, which is really great when you're on a budget. Tip number 4. If the thought of buying meat, or a lot of it, is still too expensive for your budget, try getting some of your protein from soaked beans and lentils instead. Just make sure that you do properly prepare your beans and lentils before you enjoy them. The exterior of beans and lentils actually contain kind of an anti-nutrient that messes with digestion. But once you soak them, you actually kind of remove that outer shell, and the nutrients inside are much more available and easier to digest. Tip number 5, visit your local farmer's market where produce will be fresh and seasonal. Okay, I have a really great tip for you if you're on a budget, and that is to visit your farmer's market, but visit at the end of the day when everyone's about to pack up their tents and head home. You can often score a bunch of really wonderful fruits and vegetables at a deep discount, and then you can stock up and have some really nourishing foods to enjoy throughout the week. Besides visiting the farmer's market, you can also start a garden or volunteer at a local community garden. Oftentimes, just helping to pull weeds and harvest veggies from a local community garden means that you'll be handsomely rewarded with big bags of produce to take home for your few hours of effort on the weekend. If that's not available to you as an option, you could try growing a garden, either in a community garden or in your backyard or in a couple containers on your patio, or even just a few herbs on your windowsill. It all makes a difference. And you'll be amazed at how much food a well taken care of plant will produce. Tip number 7, try fermenting your veggies. I know fermented foods can be a little bit intimidating if you're not used to them, but foods like sauerkraut, beet kvass, or fermented salsa are super nutrient rich and loaded with good for your gut probiotics. And they're super inexpensive to make. I mean, you can make a batch of sauerkraut that'll last you for a couple months for a few dollars, if even that. So I highly recommend giving fermented foods a try. You'll get tons of nutrients for minimal money. Tip number 8, if buying organic produce is still tough on your budget, choose conventional items with a tough outer skin. If you're buying conventional things with a tough outer skin, like pineapple, avocado, and banana, will have the greatest resistance to pesticide residue because you're not eating that exterior skin. Do be mindful of the dirty dozen though. These include things like strawberries, spinach, apples, potatoes. These are the items in the grocery store that you really probably do want to consider buying organic, because they are the items that are most likely to have lots of pesticide residue on them. So be mindful of that. Tip number 9, buy in bulk when items are on sale. If you're on a budget and things in the store are on sale, go ahead and stock up if you like those ingredients. You can always freeze the extras, or you can just get a little creative and find ways to incorporate those foods into different meals throughout the week. So for example, you could use those chicken thighs and organic broccoli you found on sale in a stir fry for one night. And then you could also make a big batch of roasted chicken and broccoli sheet pan dinners with some lemon and garlic. Get creative there. Costco is a wonderful resource for organic items. They're getting really, really great at having a good selection of really nutrient-dense things, and you can get veggies in bulk there. And online stores like Thrive Market are also really wonderful in offering discounted prices on some of your favorite vegan, paleo, raw, gluten-free foods. So I highly advise you check those out. Tip number 10, please keep in mind that simple food is all you need. I know that things like edible flowers and adaptogenic lattes and MCT oil are really trendy right now, and those can be a part of a nourishing diet, but they are totally unnecessary. If they're not within your budget, you do not need to include them or worry about including them. What I highly suggest you just do is keep it simple and focus on real food. That's really what it's all about. So choose things that come from the earth, choose foods that don't have an ingredient label, and you'll be off to a really, really good start. That's it, guys. I hope you found these top 10 tips for eating healthy on a budget to be really helpful. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I have a contact form at nourishedandvibrant.com, and I'd be more than happy to answer any of your additional questions. Otherwise, have a good one and keep it nourishing and vibrant.